What's up, gamers, and welcome to a new episode of Knights Chronicles. That's right, we are back. This time with a little bit of more in-depth, more of a tutorial for people who want to start the game. So let's get into it, and let's see what we can learn today about this game to help you make your game better, some tips and tricks. Let's just kind of see what we can do for you. I love hearing that song in the background, though. It's a nice little introduction song. I think it's pretty cool. So, a couple of things that you should know. Now that I've been playing for a little over a month, I have a little bit of an idea of what you want to do every day. Now, these tips and tricks I'm going to give to you are for people like myself who work 10 hours a day, don't have time to literally play all day and grind and everything like that. So if you just want to do certain things every day to be sure that you're caught up, here's a couple of tips that I would recommend. First and foremost, you always want to check out the event challenges and go to the special dungeon. In the special dungeon, you get a certain number of attempts at different ways that you can grow your heroes, basically. The very first thing I recommend that you do is go to the where it says golden time, go to the gold dungeon, and do your 5 attacks for the day. And I highly recommend that when you're doing anything, that you go to the hard mode, because that's where you get most of your stuff anyway. You can get in, better quantities, better quality gold mons to sacrifice to gain more gold, which I've already done mine for the day. But gold is the first thing I go for. Second thing I would go for is Evo Dungeon. The reason that I say go to Evo Dungeon is because even if you don't have anything you wish to evolve, you can evolve the evolve mons from 4 stars to 5 stars, and then eventually you can use those and evolve them to 6 stars. And when you evolve them to 6 stars, you can sacrifice those to do limit breaks for the hero that you actually want to gain extra levels. So what am I talking about? Well, I'll show you right now real quick. So we're going to go to hero. As you can tell, I have some evolve them on. So if I was to sacrifice 4 of these right now, it would make, one of them that's 5 stars. A 5 star would make a 6 star. And then what I could do is I can go to limit break, pick a SSR that I want to level up. We'll just pretend we want to level up her. And then if I had a 6 star, I could just sacrifice it and make her a level 40 or 54. Now, what it would do is it wouldn't automatically level her to 54. It would make her level cap 54. And then after I would do that, I would simply go to level up. And I don't have any heroes that need to be leveled, but if I did, I could pick a hero, sacrifice some of the experience monsters to make her better. And if you are in a situation where you don't have any monsters to, as far as experience is concerned, I would recommend doing the XP dungeon so you can get the XP mon. I wouldn't necessarily recommend doing the XP mon dungeon every day. It's really not necessary, in my opinion, unless you need it. Otherwise, it's just going to take up a lot of space, and then you're not going to have enough room for stuff. And you're going to have to spend your diamonds or gems or whatever on expanding your inventory space. And I just don't think you need to. I mean, if you're the kind of person who doesn't mind spending the gems to upgrade your space, yeah, go ahead and do your free XP mon every day. But for someone like me who doesn't necessarily want to have a bunch of extra stuff sitting around, just the Evolve Dungeon and the Gold Dungeon are the main 2 you want to do your max 5 on. After you do that, I would recommend going into the Essence Dungeon. You don't have a limit of how many entries you can do, so you can keep doing that with as much time as you have stamina. And the good thing about the Essence is that's how you actually make your heroes better when you've done their limit breaks. Because every time you put them every 2 levels beyond, I believe 50 and beyond, you would go to what's called it's Hero Talent. So what would happen is you'd select a hero, and this is where those essence items come into play. So if I had her at 54 right now, I could select this, and then if I had enough of these items, I could increase, one of these skills. So this is something that I would highly recommend doing too, is because you're going to need these and you're going to run out of these really, really quick, especially if you start collecting a lot of heroes. And as you can tell, like I have a lot of heroes. As a matter of fact, I actually have one hero at level 60 right now, but I don't have enough materials to put her at the maximum amount of talents. So in getting the Advent Essence, it takes a lot to do so. There's a few avenues that you can take to get Advent Essence. There's some Advent Dungeons that you can do, which is the multiplayer dungeons. You can do those to gain some. Also, what you can do to, let's say, you don't have time, like me, for example. I don't always have time to play in the Advent Dungeon. What I'll do is if I'm not, trying to enhance anyone else's talent, is I'll go to town and then I will go to the laboratory. There's a lot of things you can do in the laboratory that's really, really cool that helps you out. You go to Essence Exchange, select Advent Essence, and then basically every 10 of all the other essences will give you one Advent Essence. And so you can sacrifice some of those to make more Advent until you have enough. Now, this is kind of the slow way to do, well, it's a pretty slow way to do it because then you run out of your other materials. So the best thing probably to do would be to just play in the multiplayer Advent Dungeon. You could probably get it faster without using as much resources just to get one extra of, each. So it's kind of one of those things where you kind of have to decide which is going to be better. Since we're in the laboratory, here's another thing that I've been taking advantage of as well is the guild coin exchange. So with the guild coin exchange, you can sacrifice the guild coins you have to gain certain heroes. Like for example, right now, Cheshire is the SSR that you can gain multiple copies of if you have enough gold and if you have enough of material, which basically in this case would be guild coins. So I'll explain how to get that in a minute. But I actually highly recommend doing this because getting multiple copies of heroes is actually another way you can make your heroes a lot better. I'll show you since it's actually ready. So I'll start by getting a 4-star of this person. Alright, so now I have this character. Now, if I didn't have the character at all, then I would just literally have her. But since I already have her, this is what you're going to want to do. And this is what I absolutely recommend you do every time you have multiple copies of the same hero, especially if it's an SSR or an SR that you actually like. So what you're going to do is first you're going to evolve the hero. So let's go ahead and... I'm sorry, I have to actually collect the hero first before I can evolve her. Because she's going to be in my mailbox. So go to your inbox. Let's go ahead and get my PowerPoints and all this other good stuff. There you go. Okay, so what's going to happen now is I'm going to click on the wrong thing because I don't want to shop right now. We're going to go to our heroes. And then we're going to evolve this hero that I just got. So sacrifice 4 of these. Sacrifice the gold that you need. And what you want to do is you want to evolve the hero to 6 stars. And there's a reason for this, and I'll actually show you real quick. So the reason you want to get them to 6 stars is you're going to be increasing their, you're going to be enhancing their skill. So let's say if I was to try doing it while she's a 5-star, here's the issue with doing it now. So the way that you would normally do it is you would pick whichever skill you want. So let's say I want that. Select the extra that you have. And then, if as you can tell, it says enhanced rate 50%. That means there's a 50% chance right now that I may sacrifice this hero and it might not go through. It may not work. So you may have wasted an SSR and, gold and all the coins that you got from your guild coins. So I wouldn't recommend chancing it as a 4 or 5-star. If I was to enhance her into a 6-star, it would be 100% guaranteed. So this is why I'm kind of showing this to you right now. You want to make sure that she gets to 6-star. Now, right now, I do not believe I have enough. I don't have enough to make her where she needs to be a 6-star right now. So what I'll do is I'll go over a couple of more tips and tricks while I get some more Evolve crystals. So let's go ahead and do that. Also, don't forget to collect on your mine and level it up as you level up. So what I want to do here is we're going to go to the dungeons, so I can actually physically show you what you need to do to get some of the stuff you need. So I'm actually glad I kind of needed this. I wasn't actually planning on showing this part off, but heck, why not? I mean, it's there, it's needed, we'll get it done. Alright, so when you're doing your 5 attempts, first and foremost, go on hard like I mentioned earlier. I go to auto repeat. What it's going to do is going to replace the 5th hero that I have with whatever random helper hero that I could use. This helps to gain those friend points. So that's what I'm going to do here. And then you get to see a little bit of the team that I've been using. So the way that I have my team set up right now is I have Cheshire as my leader. Her leader ability allows my dark and light heroes to up their evade by 20% apiece. So the idea to this, as far as how I'm playing it, is simply to evade attacks as often as possible, so that when I'm in the arena and damage goes up, I have a chance of surviving better since you could potentially miss me. So that's kind of the idea here. So right now I have it set to where you don't see the cinematics, just for the sake of making this go by a bit faster. Normally I'd love showing off all the cinematics, but I'm not going to do it for the sake of this particular part. This is just a grind. But this is ideally what you'd want to do, and you would just do your 5 attempts, and then, you know, you would kind of move on to the next thing. Now, for those who don't want to watch me go through these attacks, you may want to skip about maybe 3 to 5 minutes, and you might be able to see me, you know, actually continue moving on. But you're going to miss out on a few more tips and tricks, so I am going to kind of be talking while I'm doing this auto repeat. So for those of you who are gaming on a budget, so let's say for example, you want to spend money but not a lot, like to the point to where you want to support the game, but you don't want to, like, you know, break the bank. The biggest thing that I would recommend personally is doing the monthly, the monthly thing. Basically, I think it's like $4.99 or something like that, and you get, like, you know, a certain number of crystals every day. It's an easy way to get enough of your diamonds to, you know, summon heroes and possibly get another SSR that you need. So, you know, something to consider. Another thing that I would recommend too is there's a thing where you pay, I think it's like $9.99, and every 5 or 10, I think it's every 10 levels, you gain like an XP mon or you gain something else too. I forgot what it is, but you gain like better things basically every 10 levels. I forgot what they are though. It might be diamonds and 6-star evolvemons or something like that. So that's something to consider as well. It's one of those things where you pay, but you gain the rewards once you reach certain levels. So if you plan on actually playing this game a lot, it's not a bad idea either. And I'll be showing this off to you guys. And what I may also do too is show off 1 or 2 arena battles as well after I do the whole evolving thing, just to kind of show off some of the cinematics of the heroes that I'm using. Another thing that I would highly recommend doing to make your heroes better is giving them really good 6-star, what are they called? Runes. There you go. 6-star runes. And then on top of getting those 6-star runes, you need to make those runes better by enhancing them. I believe the max is plus 12. And there are resources that you can easily get to make it happen. It's just a matter of getting multiples as a challenge. There we go. Short and sweet. And like I said, anytime you're grinding like this, you want to, again, have your helpers on the auto thing just so you can get, you know, more of those friend points. The friend points are good for 2 reasons, in my opinion. one, the PAL summons if you're trying to get like one of those like missions done, and two, I would spend you know about 200 on getting 200 stamina. That's actually not a bad thing either. And then it has one other good purpose too. Actually, you can get the there's something you can get. I think it's like it's not the secret shop, but it's something else where you spend. I think it's like 100, and you get like something random. I'll show you after this, so you know what I'm talking about. Just kind of showing this off so you understand that yes, there is a bit of a grind to this game, and it's okay. And it's not very long, to be honest. Especially if you've actually made your hero stronger. I mean, every time they get hit, they die. So, I mean, obviously, you know, this is not meant to be difficult or challenging. And I want to say this should be the last one on the auto repeat. I may be wrong. We'll find out here shortly. Another thing I'm going to be kind of instructing you guys to do too is I have some tips and tricks for those who want to actually participate in your guild, because there are ways to help your guild that I would highly recommend. Really one main thing that I highly recommend. Everything else is really optional, but there's one thing that everybody should do, and I'll kind of show you what you need to do here in a moment as well. Because there's a way you can get what's called insignias, and there's a certain area where you can get insignias at. Also, it's an area where you can get guild points too, so I'll be explaining that here shortly. Like I said, short and sweet. Okay, should be done now, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see if I was right or not. Let's see if I know how to count. Yep, I was right. So I ran out my attempts, so I can't go anymore. Now, I can spend a resource to go through again, but I'm not going to do that. I'm not trying to waste too much of your time. So even though you could just fast forward if you really wanted to. All right, well, now that we have everything that we need, what we're going to do is we're going to evolve like I was talking about. So right now the objective is to get enough 5-star of these to, you know, evolve her is the plan. So that's what we do. Sacrifice all these rares, because you do get a bunch of rare heroes as well as you're going through the dungeon. It's also not a bad way to get more of the rares you want. Let's say you actually have a rare that you like to use. This would be a good way to get multiple copies of a potential rare. Oops, I had to actually turned off my recording almost. Whoops, that would have sucked. So you need 5 of these in order to gain what you need. So I'm showing you physically how to do this. And there you go, this should be the last one that I need. And like I said, you'll want to get Evolvemons pretty much every day. And now that I have 5 of these, I can just sacrifice all 5 of the 5-star Evolvemons to the 5-star SSR that I have, who's Cheshire, spend the gold that I have, boom, I now have a 6-star. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to Enhanced Skill, pick the higher level version of the hero that I wish to enhance. So as you can tell, I've been collecting a lot of her because now I have everything at level 4. I'm going to go ahead and pick the bottom skill to be level 5. So I'm going to select that, select the hero, say OK, hit the gold button, and then boom, it says 4 to 5, hit OK. And there's a 100% chance that this will work. And there you have it. It shows you what it was. So basically, at first I was doing 150%, 56% damage or of attack to all enemies. Now it's 168% attack. And then there was a 44% chance to charm two enemies. Now there's a 47% chance to charm two enemies. So this is a way to basically make your skills better. It's interesting. It's definitely different than what I've used to in most of the mobile RPGs, but I think it's cool. I have no problem with it. So now let's go ahead and discuss some of the things I was talking about during the fight. So as far as the shops are concerned, so let's say if you do want to spend money, but not a whole lot, but you want to know what's worth buying, basically. Now, one of the things I touched on was the rank package. Basically, the beginner package is what I'd recommend first. I've already done it myself. I think it's like $9.99, and what it is every 10 levels, basically, you gain a certain amount of items. So when you first do it, you immediately get 110 diamond, which is cool. And then when you get to level 10, you get a 6-star evolve amount, which is what I use to, bump up my hero. And then like I said, 10 levels, you get more diamonds, more 6-stars. And that's basically kind of the cool thing about this. So once I get to 100, I'll be able to get another 100 diamonds. So that's pretty cool. And then once you get beyond the 100, you can then buy the expert one. The expert one apparently is $19.99. But that's pretty cool. I mean, it's a good way to like give you something to do and something worth buying. Another thing that I would recommend too, I believe, is let me see if I can select the right one first. Nope, that's not the right one. This is it. The monthly crystal package. This is only $4.99. Basically, you can get a max of 800 diamonds. So basically, every day you get a certain number of diamonds, and then once your 30 days is done, you can spend another $4.99 and get your more monthly package. This is probably the cheapest, most efficient way to be able to spend money in this game on a budget. Now, as far as what you can do for your guild, what I'm going to do is kind of show you what you need to do. So those are my guild watching. This is really the only thing that I would like for you to really do. Participate in the guild dungeon. That's really the big thing. The good thing about participating in the guild dungeon is that you have, well, first off, you gain rewards for actually, completing these tasks. You get 3 attacks per day. So there's one person I think who only attacked once. Remember, everybody, you get 3 attacks per day. So please take advantage of all 3 of your attacks to help us all out. Once your 3 attacks are done, you're pretty much done for the day. It won't let you play no more. The objective, though, is to clear certain areas. So I can't go because I already did my 3. But the main thing is you have different levels, 1 all the way up through 13, and 13, of course, is the boss. There are mission rewards. So I've told my guildmates focus on 1, 2, and 3. So what they're doing is they're basically just hitting 1, 2, and 3 because of the mission rewards. If you clear 1, 2, and 3, you get your quest reward. You get 100,000 gold, you get some fire insignias, and you get some wind insignias. So you get bonus rewards for completing mission rewards. And then, of course, if you have an active enough guild, you may be able to complete others as well. And then, of course, if you could do more, then you can gain a lot more. So if you have a really active guild, like, full of, people playing, doing all 3 hits a day, who can actually do all, like, the stronger hit dungeons and whatnot, you can get lots and lots of good rewards here. This is a really, really good way to help your guild. And you don't have to, spend gold or stamina or anything. All you're really doing is just participating. So it doesn't cost you nothing but a little bit of time to participate. So this is really the only thing that I ask of my guildmates. That's it. I don't really care about like anything else. And the reason I say that is because another thing that you can do to help your guild, and it really is just optional, is you can actually donate gold to your guild. I don't make that a requirement. I tell my guild mates that any donations are optional, and I do appreciate those who do donate. But as you can tell, and I'll just kind of show you my members here. If you look at me, I've donated 24 million gold to the guild. So I have no problem taking, basically taking the lead and spending my gold personally to, enhance our stats. So for those who are running a guild, as you can tell, you have attack, defense, HP, and critical hits that you can boost. It's pretty self-explanatory. Just use your guild coins to, or your guild gold to enhance each thing so that everybody can just be better in general, because these are stats that, if I'm not mistaken, work just about everywhere as you're playing the game. So as long as you're in the guild, you get these bonuses. So that's pretty much what that boils down to. I do appreciate those who have donated gold. Like I said, I don't require it, but if you want to do it, that's on you. The only thing that I ask is, to do a guild dungeon. And I'm pretty sure that's the biggest thing that all leaders want, is just for you to at least participate in the guild dungeons. So that's kind of something I kind of wanted to do, just to kind of help everybody out in general. That's like a big thing if you're going to be in a guild. That's really like the only advice I would have as far as like guild is concerned. As far as other things that I would recommend, so let's go into town. There's quite a few things that I did kind of gloss over that I haven't explained yet. The chance roulette, you want to do this every day. This is what I was talking about, where you can spend 100 of your friend points to get like a random item. And usually if you can do 2 per day, you are actually able to get like a daily mission reward. So I've already done mine, and it resets every 12 hours, I believe. So you can do it a max of twice per day, spending basically a total of up to 400. Sometimes I do it twice a day, sometimes I only do it once. And then, of course, I've already showed you the laboratory. This is where you can exchange your essences and also your guild coins. And that guild dungeon I was talking to you about, that's how you can get some of these, and insignias, things like that. There's also a hero exchange. I've never used it, only because I don't participate in the events where you can get this stuff. Eventually I will. I just, again, don't have a lot of time, so I do things kind of as quick as possible. So if you have any tips or tricks as far as that's concerned, feel free to comment in the notes on the bottom of the description. The secret shop, this is something that you can do. This is honestly a good way to get a bunch of good runes. If you have enough gold, you can get you a 5 or a 6 star. I would recommend spending 300k on a 6 star if you can get it. So if you don't see nothing here that you like, just do the refresh. It costs 50,000 gold to refresh, so it may not be worth it to you. Gold's not something that's like super easy to get, despite the fact that I have over 1 million, but trust me, I could spend it all right now if I wanted to, especially since I'm trying to like level up my guild and stuff like that. So, that's a thing. But this is a good place to go to level up or to get runes. So if you're trying to get a good 5 or 6 star runes, I would suggest 6 stars. But if you're not the type that likes to refresh, 5 stars would be okay if you don't have, for some of the heroes you're using. The bounty, this is a good way to get some gold. So right now I can get up to 129,000 if I complete all of the missions. My advice to you here is play the adventure mode, because the further you get in adventure mode, the more that you can get, basically. So playing the game as far as single player is worth it, specifically for this, because you'll be able to get more gold at the end of the day. I'm not going to show that off because it's really nothing special. Let's see. Now, the PAL Lotto, this is something that you can do. If you do 2 per day, you can get, I think, one of the daily rewards. So it's a nice little quick thing that you can do if you just want to do a little bit of maintenance. And then, of course, the town hall. This is where you can level up certain things. I pretty much have everything leveled to its max with the exception of the mine. And of course, every time I get enough to get there, I will level it up. Basically, every 3 hours you get so many gold. So it's just easy gold for the most part. And I mean, that's the main thing as far as the town. Now, the Goddess Falls, you guys can tell me if it's even worth using this or not. I don't know if it's worth it. And here's one reason I say that. If you look at the list of items you can get, it's just a bunch of rares. Now, if there are certain rares that you like and that you actually use, and you say it's worth getting, then okay, that makes sense. I honestly don't really use any of the rares. I always use just the SRs and the SSRs. So, but I mean, if this is worth doing, you guys let me know, because I just don't know if it's worth it. I'm not going to lie. I've never done it, and I just don't know if it's worth paying 300,000 gold for a 4 or 5 star rare. Like, I just don't think it's worth it. But if I'm wrong, please let me know, because I mean, I want to make sure that the information I give is actually legitimate and accurate. But that's the basics of what you can do in this game. Oh yeah, I didn't really talk about the windmill, did I? And you want to know why I haven't talked about this? Because I've honestly never used this either. But this is where you can transform heroes. So if I had I don't have anything to trade right now, but basically you could use some resources and a hero to trade it for another hero. And I believe the hero that you get is random. So I don't know if this is a great idea, but if you say it's worth it, please put it in the comments and explain why. Just because, we all want to help each other out. You know what I mean? Oh, and for those who want to join my guild, the guild name is RPG Pros. So if you want to look us up and join the guild, we got 10 spots available. I did boot a bunch of people recently because we had a lot of people who just stopped playing. So now that I booted quite a few people, we got some room. So feel free to join. No special requirements, really. I mean, I'd like for you to participate in Guild Dungeon. That's really my only big thing. You don't have to donate any gold. I'll take the brunt of it. Just know that it'll take a while for me to get us to level 10. Right now we're at level 7, so we're getting there. Slowly but surely. But yeah, my main thing is just participate in Guild Dungeon and just have fun. So no big deal. So we got 10 spots available if you're looking for a relaxing, chill guild. So there you go. And that's really going to be it for the tips and tricks. I mean, the only thing I'm going to show you guys now is just a little bit of arena, just, so you guys can see some cinematics and all that good stuff. But that's pretty much it for the tips and tricks part of the video. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. And now we're going to go ahead and do some PvP. Alright, so for PvP, I'll kind of let you know how I do this. Oh, and actually, now that we're actually here on PvP, the arena shop is another place you can get, more SSRs. So, for example, right now, I could actually spend 220 of my guild points to get a 4-star hero. Now, some of you might say, is it worth getting a 4-star, or should I just save it for the 6-star? Me, personally, I'll go for the 4-star, only because it's just easier and faster to get. And I always have enough Evolvamons eventually to, evolve her if I need to. I'm not going to do it in this video just because I've already kind of used them all to do something else. But yeah, I would just get the 4-star. But if you're the kind of person who gets a lot of arena points and you just happen to can get to like 700 really easily, like within a few days, then yeah, feel free to get the 6-star. It'll be a lot faster for you and you won't have to spend as much evolve and gold. But I don't mind getting the 4-stars personally. And of course, you want to get multiples so you can get your skills up. That's very important. That's actually how you can make your heroes more powerful. So, if you're looking for easy ways to get SSRs, the arena is the one way, and the other place I showed you in the town is the other. So, now, as far as the arena is concerned, I don't have any, wonderful tips and tricks as far as how you can, what the best team or what's top tier or anything like that. Honestly, I don't know. I'm not really good in the arena right now, so, I can't really give you any good tips and tricks there. But the only thing that I can tell you is come up with a plan. So, for me, example, since I'm using someone with a leader ability to increase my my evade by 20% for dark and light allies, I run a bunch of dark and light allies. That was really hard to say together. So basically, my strat is to just avoid getting hit, if at all possible, while trying to do as much damage as possible. I like this guy. I'll kind of just click on him again. I meant to hold it, not actually tap it. But I like this guy. He's really good. He's very tanky, and that's part of pretty much why I use him. I also like this person here. She's a really good healer. He or she, I can't even tell these days. But that person, Abel, is a really, really good healer. And then, of course, I've had this since day one, just like everybody else did. Seems like a decent hero. Obviously, why I went her. I went her for the, dark light evade. But she also has some other decent abilities, too. And then this guy right here is really my DPS. He just deals lots of damage. Because every time, he gets targeted with stuff, his attack increases. So, especially if you can keep him alive, he does big things. Now, when I play in the arena, I just do it on auto. But first, I'm going to actually get rid of this person, because that person's way too strong for me. I'm only 38,000. He was like 46,000. Now here's someone whose team class is 32,000. So I have a chance of winning. And I always say chance because just because your arena class is higher than theirs does not guarantee a win at all. A lot of it is a little bit of RNG, you know, depending on what abilities each hero does and when. Timing is everything as well. So I could still lose, just letting you guys know. Despite what you see, despite what the numbers say, higher numbers do not always win. Unless like you're maybe 10,000 ahead, then yeah, sure. But let's go ahead and do the auto battle, and I'm gonna turn the animation on just because I like seeing all the dramatic stuff. So we're gonna show it to you guys with the team that I'm currently using, and we're gonna auto start. And I gotta turn the cinematics on when it starts. I actually lost one of my heroes already. I'll get my butt kicked. You're starting to see why this heal is actually really good. Of course, he's gonna die soon. So just like I said earlier, just because your rating is higher does not mean squat. As you can tell, I got my butt kicked hard. So this is a perfect example of how you actually have to pay attention to, one, how well you built your characters up, and two, you know, um, there's a lot of things to be honest. It's basically your runes that you're using, the combination of heroes you're using, how many tanks, healers, DPSs, what their levels are. There's lots of things to consider. So you can't just slap on a level 60 and a bunch of 58 SSRs and expect to win. As you can tell, I showed you that it's not always a guaranteed win. Now I'm going to go ahead and make a bit of an edit here, just for the sake of showing off some different people. I do have her that I'm going to go ahead and try out just for the fun of it. And then, yeah, we'll keep everybody else where they are. It's going to make me a little bit weaker. As far as numbers, I don't care, because obviously we know the numbers don't always matter. And we'll try this team. Now, this team, again, may kick my butt. Just because I have a higher rating means nothing, as you can tell. So let's see what happens when we do this fight. And yeah, so far I am enjoying this game. I think it's a lot of fun. We're doing a little bit better this time, by the way. Now, what happens in the arena here is if the battle goes on for too long, everybody's damage will increase a certain percentage. So you might see that here. Because it has been a little while. Maybe not. There we go. So 50 turns have passed, so they're about, or so many turns have passed, so all the damage goes up. Now, for those who wish to give some advice as far as like what are some good, combinations or which is good in arena in general, feel free to put that in the comments as well. But this is kind of basically how the arena is, and I'd recommend at least participating, at least trying, even if you don't win a lot. Like, I don't win a lot either. I mean, look at my ranking. It's really not that great. But participating gives you, resources to help you get stuff in the arena shop, like an SSR. Now, there are other things that you can get too, like some runes and whatnot. So this might not be a bad place to get runes. But I mainly use this to get SSR heroes just to make their skills better. So that would be my recommendation as far as how to spend your points. And again, I'm open to other suggestions as well. And then, of course, your battle record will tell you, your win-loss, record. Apparently, I've been winning a little bit lately, but that's good. It's a good thing. It tells you what rewards you get for getting high ranks, so that's always good to see for rank rewards and tier rewards. And you also get rewards based off of your tier. So just keep that in mind as well. And I think that you get, every time you reach a certain tier, you gain a reward as well. So that's pretty cool too. There's also missions too, which I think is, if you earn so many points, you gain so many gold and honor. So, and honor obviously is what you can use to purchase this stuff. So that's why, yes, you should at least play. Now, I'm not going to sit here and make you watch me play a bunch of arena all day long, but this is just kind of put a little bit of action in this, since just a lot of it has been, just me talking and grinding a little. And then, of course, participate in arena. Boom! I got 200,000 gold and 100 stamina for participating on it 10 times. I think it was. I forgot how many it was. But yeah, so these are your beginner tips and tricks. Hopefully, I've educated you on how to continue playing this game, and I hope you're enjoying it. I'm enjoying playing the game. I have a lot of fun logging in, and it's just a fun little new game. And when a new RPG drops, things are very, very simple, and that's why I like playing new RPGs, because they're simple. Now, once an RPG has been out for about maybe a couple of years, it starts to get overcomplicated. They start adding a bunch of stuff, and you're just kind of like lost after a while. But I like the fact that right now it's at its simplest state. This is really where I have the most fun when it comes to mobile RPGs. Well, until next time, you guys take care. Take it easy and keep gaming. Have fun, y'all.